Hello and welcome to this session of English 204. This is our 12th week. So in week 12, we're almost done. And it's all good news and it's all beautiful things coming our way from now on. So for this week, what you have to do is you have to submit your paper by Wednesday. And the paper is just a reflection paper of your work on the Wikipedia article. Now, expect that the Wikipedia article will continue to be updated and edited by different people, not just you, by different people on the internet. So I might go on there and edit a few things for you and etc. etc. But the good thing is that this work is always going to be there. Hopefully it'll always remain there unless someone deletes it for whatever reason. But I think it should be okay because what you have done was you have added information about a figure who otherwise would have been long forgotten. Now that we've done the work and we have written an article, or no, it's a reflection on our work. Now it's time to work on a video presentation and an academic poster. So let me explain a little bit why we're doing this. First of all, the reason why we're doing a video presentation is because this is one of the requirements for this course. You have to learn how to give a presentation. Had we been in class, you would have done this face-to-face. This means that you would have learned how to give an oral presentation in front of an audience. Now, I know many of you have done that at school and you have presented in different classes, but here we were going to start doing things a little bit more seriously, in the sense that something that is almost business-like. Had you, or if you had, or if you have any experience with MUN, you would know what I'm talking about, which is how to deliver a presentation, a formal presentation. How do you structure it? How do you argue your points? How do you transition between different points? How do you conclude? How do you call for action, etc.? And I know many of you probably have participated in MUN or MAL, but this would have been your chance to somehow enhance your skills. Okay. Unfortunately, this semester we're doing things online. However, this is not a loss for us because we can still give a video presentation. In fact, more and more companies are nowadays asking for resumes to be presented as video presentations. So instead of just sending in your resume, you create a short video in which you talk about yourself. So it's always really good to give a video presentation or to learn how to give a video presentation. Now, instead of just overwhelming you with information and trying to explain to you how you give a video presentation, I made one of my former students, Ruba Azzuddin, create a video presentation for you about how to give a video presentation. And I thought you can benefit from this presentation in many different ways. Number one, you see someone give a video presentation in under 5 minutes, including all the important and essential points a presentation should include. And the second part is model it after her, because what she does is absolutely spot on. She begins with an attention grabber. She doesn't begin with, "Hi, my name is Ruba Azzuddin and I'm here to tell you about this, and that." No, she begins with an attention grabber. She is addressing you in specific, AUB student, my student in particular. So she begins with talking about what AUB students hate the most. Previous, classes with no previouses or test banks. And then she says, "No, I think that the one course that AUB students, or the one thing that AUB students hate the most is giving presentations." And so this is a very good attention grabber. And then she links it to you in a sense, right? Because she's talking about AUB students, she's talking about presentations, she's talking about my class. And then she states very briefly what she's going to be doing in the presentation. She lists all the important information that you need to know, and she does it very briefly. She gives examples, and then she sums it up in a very good way, all while modeling everything that she's telling you about. So when she's talking about gestures, she's modeling that. When she's talking about a conclusion, an effective conclusion, she's modeling that. Now, I do not expect you to give me a presentation as good as Ruba's. However, I expect you to structure it the way Ruba does, in the sense that it's very clear where she begins, where she states her information, where she transitions, how she concludes, and when she concludes. She does a very good job at it. I don't expect you to deliver something as good as Ruba, because Ruba is the president of the Toastmasters Club. Ruba has been doing this for many years. Ruba gives presentations every single week. So to her, it's second nature. Okay? But what I want you to do is, I repeat, structure it the way Ruba does. Now, it's going to be easier for you doing this on video because you can stop and re-record as many times as you want. But it's not easy if you do not have a script. So from your paper, from your project, I want you to find out what is it very important that you want to tell me about, and write the presentation listing all the points that you want to talk about, and then have an attention grabber, an introduction that really captivates the attention, and conclude and sum it up almost similarly with something that is thought-provoking, something that drives the message home. Type it all in front of you, and then you can record it. You can read as you're recording, but make it look like you are maintaining eye contact with the audience by somehow looking straight into the camera. She was not looking straight into the camera the whole time, but she looked like she was. Why? Because her screen, the words that were closer closer to the camera than you would think. So this is when it comes to the video presentation. I'm going to pause for a second to see if any of you have a question before I talk about the academic poster and why we're doing one and what is the importance of the academic poster. Any questions? You can always unmute yourself. In fact, I have 4 messages. The Wednesday or Friday? Friday. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm confusing you with English 204. So yes, Friday. So this answers your question regarding the deadline. What about the presentation? Do you have any questions regarding the presentation? Somebody's
Professor?
unmuted. Yes.
Doctor?
Can I go with Ralph first?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just I have a question before the presentation. For when I submitted my essay, my reflective essay, it gave me like an ID or something. It's not like when I don't know, should I use this ID somewhere or not?
No, this ID is because Turnitin is activated, and that's why you get an ID for it, because it sends it to my repository. It's stock sit somewhere in my repository so that I can measure things up against it. Nothing more.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Karima, you had something to say? Was it?
No, it's me.
Carla. Okay.
Carla, yes. I just wanted to ask whether the reflection essay should be like the annotated formatting sample that you uploaded.
In terms of layout, I would like you to follow that format in the sense that I want you to have a cover page, and I also want you, or at least double space, use Times New Roman font, to have 1-inch margins. This is a general APA format that you will be using for all papers here at AUB. So it's better if you nail it from now and do it fast and quick. And the other thing I want to tell you and I want to share with you is that we conducted a very informal study a few years ago to see if this has an effect on professors, instructors, and teachers. So we asked some students to submit almost the same content in terms of papers to professors. Some of the papers were formatted perfectly following APA formatting style, and some were not. And the papers that were formatted properly got approximately or more than 10 points more than the other papers. This means that well formatted papers leave the professor with a really good impression about the paper that you have just submitted or written. It makes it look like it's much more professional, that you know what you're doing, and it lands you more grades. It actually makes a difference between an A and a B, and with some professors. So this is why I wanted to send you that as a sample so that you can see how it's formatted. And I annotated it because I wanted to bring to your attention certain little things. Or you can follow the formatting style. Like for example, here, what I do is, you have to have the name, course, professor's name, date, and assignment in the top left hand of a corner in the header, not in the header as in the heading, but in the header as in like whenever you submit a paper, you first start with your name, class, section, my name, date, and the title of the assignment. And then I want to have the page number in the upper right hand corner. So in addition to these, you can format the paper the way it is in the sample that I had sent you from Wadsworth, which I had annotated. Does that answer your question, Carla?
Yes, thank you so much.
Great. Okay. Now, other questions regarding the paper? All right. Since there are no other questions, let me tell you a little bit about academic posters. And I'm glad that we are recording this because not many students from class are here, so hopefully they will be able to watch this later on, because this is going to be very helpful. The reason we do academic posters is because academic posters will become an integral part of your career at AUB. In most classes, you're going to be asked to create academic posters or posters in which you highlight your research or your work in whatever shape or form. Sometimes we also have conferences, and you will be invited to participate in certain conferences in which you will be presenting an academic poster. Academic posters are very popular in the academic world. Professors do them whenever they participate in conferences. Students do them, graduate students do them, businesses do them. And it's very important to learn how to do an academic poster. Now, whenever people start working on academic posters, they usually go and they Google, how do I do an academic poster? What should I do? What should it look like, etc., etc. And most of the time you will be directed to certain websites that charge you money. Like, for example, Canvas, they offer you certain templates, but then if you want more, you have to pay money for it, etc., etc. And so I wanted to teach you, first of all, how to do academic posters. Second of all, the cheapest and the most effective way to do academic posters, and that is PowerPoint. So how do I utilize PowerPoint in order to create an academic poster? This is exactly what the video in week 12 shows you, okay? So how to create an academic poster using PowerPoint, this sums it up for you very clearly. I even gave you poster samples from something that I have done for my classes. Now, if it is too big, once you save the poster in PDF, you can upload it to a PDF resizer. It'll shorten it for you, and then you can submit your poster. Okay. The other thing is, regarding the Google Doc, what I have done before is I had expected you to be creating video presentations as groups. However, I find this to be very, very problematic, because then it'll require a lot of editing, a lot of merging things together. It might not be as effective. It might take away, from the overall effect of your presentation. And I also wanted to get to know you better as students. I wanted to be able to attach a face to the name, so that I can recognize who you are. And then, if I ask you as a group to create a presentation, it might be 5 to 6 minutes long. This way, just like, or actually longer. This way, all I want you to do is give me a short presentation. If you can make it 3 minutes, go ahead and make it 3 minutes. If you can make it 4 minutes, go ahead and make it 4 minutes, but do not exceed 5 minutes. Make it under 5 minutes long, just like the one Ruba created for us. And so you can just give a summary of your work and what you have done, your reaction. And if you feel that you would like to add a little bit more about the class overall, feel free to do that. Just give me a presentation that is that has an attention grabber, doesn't overwhelm the audience with too much information, speaks from the heart about your project, and what you've learned from it, maybe, and then have a strong conclusion for it. As for this is why if you click on the link to Google Doc, it will give you just like names of participants, etc. I will add certain slots for you so that I can accommodate everyone. And this is where you can upload the link to your Google Doc. But for the poster, this is the submission slot for the poster. However, having said that, I also need to remind you that the video presentations, what you can do is you can, yes, go ahead, Karima. What you can do is you can create a video, very easily upload it to YouTube and make it, I don't want to say make it invisible, make it unlisted. So only the people with the link can actually view your video. If you're uncomfortable sharing the video over here to the Google Doc, I can change things for you. I can change things around for you. And what I can do is I can have you over here submit, or actually no, I'll create a submission slot like this one where you can submit your video, the link to your video presentation. But I think it'll be really cool for everyone to be able to see other people's presentations as well. Okay. All right. Any questions?
Doctor, it should be 3 minutes long or longer?
Please don't make it over 5 minutes. You just need 3 minutes to talk.
Okay. And do you want to see the PowerPoint presentation or just us presenting our points?
Just you. What you can do is you can just like write it out and then you can read it. But then, as I said, it has to have an attention grabbing introduction. By the way,
yes, sure.
The oral presentation checklist, oral presentation skills, 5 quick tips for delivering a great presentation, and the TED Talk on speaking with confidence, those are optional. Okay, remind me to say this on the WhatsApp group. Those are optional. What I want you to do is watch Ruba's presentation and try to give a presentation that is similar. This is a very good presentation. This is a model for a successful presentation. It's short, it's concise, it's captivating, it's related to the audience, it addresses the audience, it has an attention grabber, it has a conclusion that is very clear, and it departs with something cute. And this is what I want you to do, is basically model your presentation after hers. Everything else over here is optional. And then for the academic poster, also you just have to watch this. I'm not sure, I can't remember how many minutes this video is, but I know that it's short. Like, I try to keep it as short as possible, and it'll show you how you do it. For the poster, No. It's up to you, Yasmin. Whatever you want. But yeah, I try to keep it short, so it's like 4 or 5 minutes. What else do I want to
Professor?
tell you? I want to tell you one thing. Sorry. I
Okay.
want to tell you one thing. In your career at AUB, you're going to be using these skills so much. And you're going to be very, very happy that you learned how to do a poster using PowerPoint. It saves you a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's lovely. And if you resize it, you can print it out at Malex, like enlarge it to like make a huge banner, and it'll still not be pixelated. It's amazing. It's an amazing tool. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I think it's a very, very important thing to know, to have, to know that it exists, and to know how to use. Yes, somebody had a question and they were talking and then I interrupted them.
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
Just for the video presentation, I have a question. Like, when we should talk about our article, just our part, or on a generally.
It's up to you. It's up to you how you want to structure it. There is no right or wrong way, right? Because this is not what I'm assessing. If I want to know your part, if I want to know more about like what you wrote there and how your experience was, I would read the reflection, right? But
Yes.
it's more about it's more about the delivery than it is about the content.
Okay.
It's about just engaging me for a couple of minutes and something that you have to say.
We can also talk about like our experience in this course too,
You can,
or just
you can.
about we should talk just about.
La. You can. It's open. It's open. You have a few minutes to give me a presentation. Whatever you want to talk about, talk about. If you want to talk about your experience in this class, but you actually satisfy all the different points that I'm asking you to have in your presentation, then so be it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Other questions? The poster is also about the Wikipedia project, yes. Somebody's asking me privately. The video doesn't have to necessarily be about the Wikipedia project, just because I want to give you the freedom to play around with the content and deliver a content that you would like to talk about. Okay? But I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to see you present. And I want you to work on that skill. Great. Other questions? Okay, I'm going to pause the recording. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't pause the recording. I paused the... Okay, I'm going to pause